What's up, guys? It's Jensen and welcome to another video. So it's finally Super Bowl week and Patrick Mahomes with the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be facing off against Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers. And this is going to be a very interesting matchup. We're talking about San Francisco and that defense versus Kansas City's offense. I mean, it's certainly going to be an interesting matchup for sure. Definitely two different types of teams. They have two different types of ways to play. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But let's start with the San Francisco 49ers offense. I mean, these guys, they have been impressive this year. I didn't think they'd be able to make it to the Super Bowl, but credit to Shanahan. I mean, Kyle Shanahan, he's probably the best coach in the NFL right now. I mean, the way he's been scheming up ways to cover up Jimmy Garoppolo and his weaknesses, be able to get the best out of the San Francisco 49ers offense is nothing short of remarkable. I mean, we look at this running game, it's all Shanahan in my opinion. We look at guys like Raheem Mostert, Tevin Coleman, Matt Breida. I mean, these guys aren't elite by any stretch of the imagination. But Kyle Shanahan has put together a running attack in which you can't even tell who's going to get the ball. So much motion and misdirection. I mean, Kyle Shanahan truly is a magician in my opinion. And we look at the offensive line, a lot of credit to them. Guys like Joe Staley, Mike McGlinchey at tackles. I mean, these two guys are absolute studs. If you look at the offensive line, they're the true key to success for this offense. Because we look at a guy like Jimmy G, he's not that special. But, I mean, because they're able to lean on this running game and Kyle Shanahan is such a great offensive mind, that's the reason why they're able to win. And I think that Mostert goes off for over 100 yards again, even though I really believe in Kansas City's defense. So, I mean, that's going to be an interesting matchup, which is why the X factor for Kansas City is going to be those linebackers. Anthony Hitchens, Reggie Ragland. These guys are going to have to step up. I mean, we know they're good linebackers. Can they step up to the competition? We saw them do it last week against Derrick Henry and the Tennessee Titans. Can they do it again? That's going to be the question. Definitely a different type of running attack, which is why it's going to be interesting to see how KC approaches defending this running attack. Because, I mean, when even guys like Deebo Samuel, he could get the ball out of the backfield. That's what makes this team truly dynamic, in my opinion. Then we look at the wide receivers. Obviously, Deebo Samuel, I mean, this guy, he's a special guy. He has game-breaking speed, and he's also a pretty good blocker, too. I mean, we can't underestimate these guys and how good they are blocking. Obviously, George Kittle, and with respect to Travis Kelce, I mean, George Kittle is the best tight end in the NFL. There's no doubt about it, in my opinion. When we take into account how great of a blocker he is, as well as how hard it is to bring him down after he catches the ball, George Kittle is going to have a big game. We look at Emmanuel Sanders, the consistent veteran wide receiver. These are good pieces. The real question, in my opinion, is going to be Jimmy G. I mean, Jimmy G, I know a lot of Niners fans want to believe that he's an above-average quarterback, but I beg to differ. At the end of the day, this is really just a game manager who has 13 interceptions, and some of the signature moments are a little deceiving. They wouldn't have beaten New Orleans if Jared Cook was healthy for the Saints. Let's be very clear about that. And Drew Brees did outplay Jimmy Garoppolo in that game, as well as Jimmy G did play. And I don't want to really hate on Jimmy G too much. I'm not hating on Jimmy G. These are just the facts, in my opinion, especially after looking at last year's Rams team. I mean, they're kind of similar to this year's Niners team. Obviously, this Niners team is better, but they were both well-rounded rosters with flawed quarterbacks. We look at Jimmy G. He's great when he's throwing to the middle of the field, but other than that, he's not that great. A lot of weaknesses. I mean, and his one main strength is throwing to the middle of the field. I have a lot of questions about Jimmy G right now, and I really think that Shanahan's going to have to continue to lead on the running game for San Francisco to have any chance of winning this game. Because when we look at it, if Jimmy G has to throw to win the game, Niners are going to lose, and they're going to lose badly. Because Jimmy G is not that type of quarterback. He's the type of guy whom he can kind of manage the game a little bit. He can not kill your team on way to a victory. Let me put it that way. He's not going to kill your team, but he's not really helping your team either. So that's why the running attack for San Francisco is going to be key. And we look at that KC defense. They stepped up last week. Chris Jones, he's a great defensive tackle. Frank Clark, he's going to put some pass rush on Jimmy Garoppolo, that's for sure. And then we look at the safety, Tyrann Mathieu. This is one of the best safeties in the NFL. And then Bashaud Breeland, he's a stud at cornerback. I mean, this Kansas City defense really is scrutinized too much. They're given a bad rap by the media, but overall, I think this is a above average defense in my opinion. So Jimmy G is going to have to step up. He's the X factor for the 49ers, because if he has a big game, the Niners are probably going to hoist up the Lombardi trophy. But if he has a bad game, Niners have no chance. It's about Jimmy G. Now, let's look at that Kansas City offense. I mean, there isn't even a way to describe into words how great Patrick Mahomes is. I mean, this guy is so special. He has the arm strength, plus the fundamentals, plus he doesn't turn the ball over. I mean, we've seen guys like Brett Favre who have the arm strength, but they turn it over too much. We've seen guys like Cam Newton who have their freakish athleticism, but they have inaccuracy, and they really struggle to place the ball into the perfect position. And we also seen guys like Tom Brady and Drew Brees who are great at the fundamentals, but they're not that physically talented. Mahomes is like all three of these wrapped up into one. There's no defending Mahomes, and even with this great San Francisco defense, unless they can get pressure on Mahomes, which I highly doubt, respect to Nick Bosa, D Ford, DeForest Buckner, Eric Armstead. As great as those guys are, I think it's just almost impossible to put pressure on Mahomes that he'll actually feel. I mean, he's a magician. We've seen this. He makes plays out of the pocket. He can escape the pass rush so well, almost better than any other quarterback in the NFL. So those guys are going to have to step up, but I don't think it's possible. And if the San Francisco defensive line does somehow get some pass rush on Mahomes, they're probably going to win the Super Bowl. I'm not going to lie. But I don't think it's possible. If you take into account guys like Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, Travis Kelce, you're not defending all these guys. Respect to Richard Sherman and the others there. I mean, I know San Francisco, how good they are. Jaquiski's Tart. I mean, these are good players, but you're not stopping all these guys, especially Tyreek Hill with the game-breaking speed. Travis Kelce is always a reliable weapon at tight end. I mean, you're not stopping these guys. And then Andy Reid, obviously one of the best head coaches in the NFL. Like, when you put the best quarterback, in my opinion, with such amazing weapons, you're not stopping them. It's impossible. Even for a great San Francisco defense, the only way KC can lose is by beating themselves, in my opinion. Because if Mahomes and the Chiefs shoot themselves in the foot, then they might lose. If they play at their best, in my opinion, no chance Kansas City loses. No chance. I expect the best of Mahomes. I expect the best of KC. So I'm going to pick Kansas City to win 38-24. And they're going to be hoisting up the Lombardi trophy. Obviously, the storylines are going to be incredible. Andy Reid's first Super Bowl win and all that. But this Super Bowl is going to be about Patrick Mahomes. He's going to win the Super Bowl MVP, mark my words. And we're truly starting to see Mahomes blossom into the greatest quarterback of all time, potentially. Definitely the best. Maybe even the greatest. Anyways, thanks for watching this video, guys. Please like and subscribe. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to it. I mean, it'd mean a lot. And make sure to follow me on Twitter, Jensen Sports. I'm going to put a lot of good content on there for y'all. Anyway, see y'all later.